Hello, Bobby. Hello, Inbound. Welcome. Here to talk about another Scarabs roster change and another one I'm sure you didn't want to happen, but it's something that's going on. Scream will be leaving to join the Jade Dragons, unfortunately. Do you want to just give us like a rundown of how you're feeling about it to start off with?
Well, I mean, obviously it's tough. You play, another half year with one roster, and then I don't know, halfway into the summer split, you just get a change, and I don't know. It's just not going to feel good, especially when you have so much time put towards like a team. So
Yeah, rough timing as well. You guys really seem to be starting to hit form. Um, let's talk briefly about the timeline that led to the change. Like, when did you find out that Scream would be leaving? Was it a pretty quick thing to happen?
yeah, it was kind of, I don't know, like not even like 2 nights ago, he kind of said that he got approached with an offer to play with them, and he was considering it. And then that morning, right after we woke up, we planned on scrimming. Scrimming with a sub, not with him. And then, like an hour into that scrim sesh, he kind of just said that he's basically just going to take the offer. And yeah, so it was done in like 12 hours from he was interested to he was gone.
Yeah, rapid change, rapid change. Um, Awkward timing for you guys, as I said earlier. How, like, you've just sort of hit form, you've just gotten a win against the first seed in the Kings. Things really started to come together for you guys, and it feels, yeah, it feels like a tough one for you. How does that affect you guys as a team going forward? Do you feel like this is a big road bump for you guys now?
I mean, it's obviously weird, the timing of it all. Like you said, we just beat the Kings the week earlier. I think we played the Levi's, we beat the Levi's, and then we had like a rough last week, something like that. So I mean, we're just having consistency issues right now. And then when this happened, it just kind of threw everything off. Obviously, our momentum will be affected because I mean, you lose one of your teammates. This entire style that you've spent months and months building has now been completely changed because as much as a jungler is a jungler, their styles will change just heavily. The gods they prioritize, the gods that they want to play, metas that they're going to try to like push the game towards because everybody kind of has like their own meta that they prefer. Like everything's going to change. So, I mean, hopefully we can at least ride a little bit of momentum from beating the Kings, but you know, you can only hope.
Yeah. Hopefully the momentum carries through and you guys can keep building on what you were doing because you were definitely starting to come together. I guess one kind of upside of this is you guys are kind of used to roster changes and adjusting to new teammates now, or you are specifically as well. Obviously, there was the Layers and Salt, no, Layers and Zapman leaving midway through last year, and then at the end of the year, you had to replace Salt, and now another roster change. Is this something that you guys have adjusted to? Like, do you feel like you have a good handle on how to integrate a new player into a team, or do you feel like it's going to be sort of different every time?
I think both ways can be true. Like as soon as you kind of go through it a couple times, it becomes something that's a little bit easier to get used to. You don't have to spend as much time kind of figuring out like the basis of like, oh, you have a new player, so things are going to be different. Like if you're expecting the same things, which you might just sometimes need a roster change, you're going to be sorely mistaken when you wake up and the game is just being played differently because of roster changes. But I mean, I definitely think there's advantages to it too. Um, but obviously the disadvantages are just a lot bigger. So many things just changed, and there's so many minuscule things that happen in a game. And when you're changing out players, it's definitely gonna change a lot.
Synergy as well between the core, I guess, tough for you and Baronic to have to adjust to presumably a new jungler coming in.
Yeah.
Speaking of the advantages, though, do you sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced this, do you sometimes feel like having a new player come in can sort of blow away some complacency and breathe some new life into a team?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. There's definitely some downsides, but then there's like the upsides. Like the Titans when they picked up Lairs last year, they like started off like skyrocketing in wins, didn't they? They won like 3 or 4 or 5 or something straight. And it was like the entire team just kind of like switched that. Wait, that's not the saying. Flip that switch, and I mean they just started all started performing. So I mean there is always that chance that with that player changing, our consistency, like everybody's just showing up on time, early ideas coming to scrims like ready to go because they just have like that fire underneath them. So I mean, there's always possibilities of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've experienced it that way for sure. When a new player comes in, especially practice schedule wise, I've definitely seen it have a really positive effect on a team. In terms of who you're looking at and what you're considering in terms of your options, is there like a short list of players you got? You obviously don't have to tell me the short list, but are there like a number of players you'd like to try out before you make a decision?
Yeah, there's a good short list of players that we are interested in, and we want to kind of like do our due diligence and put time towards all the players to make sure that we get the best possible option. Because, I mean, as you've seen through the year, we're a pretty unique team in how we want to play. So we kind of need somebody that kind of fits with that, or we have to be able to mold to the player that we're picking up. So, yeah, definitely not a long list, but a list that we want to give some time and some thought to.
Interesting, cool. And do you have like a timeline in mind for when you want things to be sorted out? You've gone through this sort of in-between phase previously where you've had to play some games with Slaney and you've, I guess through other circumstances, he's getting pretty used to it at this point, slamming some games in the SPL. Do you have like a timeline when you want to have a new player in and ready to go?
I don't think we really do, considering like the timing of it. It is later into the year, but it's not like it's fall split. We have to be like ready and locked in and everything and have our team. But it is getting still towards the end of the year, so it is not like we have all the time in the world, like a spring split or something. So we're kind of like right in the middle where we'll give it like, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 weeks, just like ponder everything and then make our decision after that.
After you guys learned that Scream was leaving, how's the relationship with everybody going? Is there any resentment there? Are people sad but understanding, and you guys are still going to be pals after, or is it a bit of a rough break?
It's not gonna be like a completely clean split. Like we'll probably still be like pals. Maybe we'll be chill sometimes. But I think Sam kind of alluded to it too. When something happens like this, it's a little tough, especially in the way that it happened. So it makes it a bit harder to kind of look at it fondly or look back at like the past fondly. But I mean, no reason to like completely say it's not going to happen or it is 100% going to happen. It could go either way, but yeah, definitely some things sucked that make this not feel that great.
Yeah, I feel like mid-season changes always. I feel like they always feel a lot tougher than end-of-season roster changes. Right, end-of-season roster changes tend to be a cleaner break, whereas mid-season ones you're kind of like, wow, we got to play you in a couple weeks. That's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
I guess just one final question before we finish this one up. What are your plans for sort of your SPL matches coming up? Do you have an idea of what's going on? Are we going to be seeing Slaney Xing Chen in the jungle? Do you think maybe you'll flex Scary back into the jungle, or do you have ideas and plans for that? Or are you just going to kind of take that as it comes and focus more on the finalizing of your roster?
As much as everybody wants to see the Slaney Xing Chen again, or just Slaney in general, I think we're going to try to just hold away from that. Slaney really doesn't want to play, so we're going to try to get a sub for this weekend, or maybe just treat it like a little scrim for one of our tryouts just to see how everything goes. But yeah, you don't have to worry about the Slaney Xing Chen again. We'll keep that to the side. We'll have that in the backpack for later.
Excellent. I'm glad that you have the flexibility for that and that you're able to do that. It's a nice thing for the team to be able to kind of take a player into this weekend and maybe get a go of some high pressure games wherever you're trying out. That's exciting. Cool. Any final words from you before we finish up?
No, not really. Go Scarabs.
Go Scarabs. Go Bugs. Exactly. I was really, really excited to watch you guys hang form, and I'm hoping to see you continue it on. Thanks so much for coming on, Bobby, and good luck with your tryouts.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Bye. Love you. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye. Love you.